Hi and welcome to this workshop. So the workshop is titled The 5 Ways to Not Feel Sluggish. So hands up anyone who's felt sluggish before. Yeah, I think pretty much everyone on the planet, haven't they? So at times we all feel sluggish. So I've wondered whether sluggish is an English word, but when I sent it out to all my American email list, everyone seemed to know what sluggish means as well. So there you go. Australians, I know you're probably asleep at the moment. I hope you understand what the word means as well. But basically, sluggish is when you get brain fog, when you feel like really tired and just got no energy and no get up and go. And we all feel it, don't we? And it can happen at certain times of the day. Now, it happens at different times of day for different people. But say, for example, let's choose an example. So if you're an office worker, traditionally, you tend to find you get to work sort of 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. You sort of get the first brain fog about 11, half 11 in the morning, just before lunch, where you just like, oh, really tired, and you have to grab a coffee or a biscuit or a donut or something. Anyway, then you have your lunch and you feel like, oh yeah, you've got more energy now. You get to like half 2, 3 in the afternoon, and then you start to feel tired and sluggish again, don't you? And then you're like, oh, and you can't concentrate. You get a bit aggravated with things, a bit snappy, and then you go home, you have your meal, and then you sit down on the sofa about 8 o'clock at night, watch telly, and you're like, oh, I'm so tired. And I've heard loads of people in offices that I've had as clients have said, I don't do any exercise or don't do any movement or can't do anything when I get home because I'm so tired. And I say to them, wow, what have you done all day? Have you been like working on a builder's site or, running a marathon or, your postman, like walking miles and miles and miles? And they went, well, no, I drove to work, sat in the office all day, drove home, had my dinner, but I was just so tired. So you see, it can affect people in different ways. Okay, so parents, so I deal with a lot of parents, and parents tend to get, that sluggish time at different times of the day. Because obviously they've got certain times of day where it's absolute bedlam in the house, like especially first thing in the morning before school, and then after school, then you taxi service, taking the kids here, there, and everywhere. You've got to get all the tea ready, then you've got to get them to bed and sort the stuff out for the next morning. So parents tend to crash sort of like about 9 o'clock in the evening as well as other times through the day. So it affects everyone in different ways. So there you go. It's not the same for everyone. So anyway, but we all get it at some point, don't we? But you can have it in different scores. So a brilliant thing that I do with my clients is to get them to score what their energy levels are. So now, when they've been working with me for a while, or a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, and a time when they think, oh, I really was bad at that point. And it's amazing. I mean, 5 years ago, before I started my health journey, my energy levels were about 2 out of 10, maybe a 3 on a good day. Whereas now, some days they can be a 9 out of 10, occasionally 10 out of 10. But say on a normal day, 8, 9, 10 out of 10. But it depends on how you sort of live your life and how healthy you are. And, if you could bottle up energy and sell it to human, how much would that be worth? You'd be a millionaire, billionaire, yeah? I mean, how many billionaires have got all the money in the world, but they'd probably like to think, oh, if I just had more energy, they'd pay anything for it, wouldn't they? So there you go. So it's an interesting topic to talk about, and I get asked about this all the time. A lot of people want to look good, they want to lose weight, they want to lose weight off their hips or their bum or their stomach or something like that. But most people just want more energy. Just think what you can do with more energy. So it's interesting. I've been working recently with some clients who are like entrepreneurs who own businesses, and they have got kids, but their kids are grown up. And they said, oh, Chris, I'm not worried about that so much, but I just need more energy for my business. And the fact they've got more energy now means they can do so much more with their business. I've got one client, and he's done so well. He's lost well over 15 kilos, which is about 33 pounds. And he didn't really want to do it for a particular reason, but one of the main reasons was, he had lots of reasons, but the main one was for his business. Because now he's like, he can walk into the office and gets respect off people. He's sort of got all that energy. He walks in there, head held high, shoulders up, and he just feels confident. He feels, I look good. I've got so much more energy. He's more assertive and all these things. So people want energy for different reasons. So that's why we can talk about it. So anyway, so at the moment, I'm recording this at 8 o'clock in the evening in the UK, which is 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern, and I think 12 o'clock Pacific. And in Australia, it's night time. So all the people that are on this call now and we're watching the recording will all have different energy levels. So I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, so that's 14 hours ago. And admittedly, it took me about a minute to get out of bed because my phone went off and I was like, where is it? Where is it? But then I jumped out of bed because I knew I had a full day and I knew I was going to the gym at 7 because I had a session with my personal trainer. I knew then I had clients all day. I knew I had to go for a walk. I knew I had to prepare for this show. Other things happened during the day. So my energy levels have actually been really good today. So I'd say on average about 9 during the day. So I still feel pretty much as energized now as I did this morning. But so I actually monitored it today. And so obviously jumped out of bed this morning. Yeah, it might take a few minutes just to get your energy levels up. So you jump in the shower. My shower takes half a minute for it to warm up. But while it's cold, it actually really wakes your body up. And then drinking some cold water straight away gets your metabolism going, wakes you up, and you're like, whoa, I feel so awake now. And putting some really good music on, maybe not 6 if you've got neighbours, but I've got some really good music. I call it my state peak state music, and it's really good to play the same tracks, and it wakes me up in the morning, gets me going. Okay, so anyway, I was in the gym between 7 and 8, a really good workout with my personal trainer, but by 8:05, I was shattered. My body was just feel like someone had run it over. But then I also had the buzz. I've got one particular personal best that I've been aiming for. And so probably for the next hour, I was then feeling my energy levels were down, but my adrenaline and my happiness was actually through the roof. And I was still buzzing, even though my body was feeling drained, but my energy levels were still good. Anyway, throughout the day, monitored it, and I had a really good, healthy day. Whereas yesterday, I have to admit, yesterday was not a good day for my energy. So again, got up at 6 o'clock. I knew I had to go on a train for a meeting, and everything just basically went wrong during the day. So my laptop couldn't pick up the Wi-Fi properly, so I had problems with that. The person I was at a meeting where I was sitting by me had a stinking cough, and they shouldn't have been there anyway. And I was thinking, I really do not want to be ill. The amount of things I do not want to be ill. I mean, my immunity system is really good anyway, luckily, hardly ever ill. But the fact that someone was coughing and spluttering and sneezing everywhere just really made me angry. And then the trains going back were late. The technology, I had loads of technology issues. I could feel my chest and feeling really tight, and my brain was really, really angry. So my energy levels were going low. And then at that point, you start to crave certain foods, don't you? And I was thinking, well, that last night I was teaching a spin class, so I knew I needed energy for that. So anyway, I do teach a few classes in the gym each week for a hobby, because I absolutely love it. I don't need to, but I just absolutely love it. And people say, why are you wasting 2 hours of traveling, doing class, having a shower, coming back? Because I absolutely love it. I don't make any money from it, but I just love doing it. I love making people happy. I love the adrenaline. I love that energy rush. I love the planning of it, and I just love seeing happy faces. And I see people older than me working their socks off, because they love the music. They love the camaraderie with the other people in the group, in the class. They love it when I turn the lights down and the lights flash up, and it's like being in disco on a bike. But it's just amazing. And I could be doing other things. I could be at home watching Netflix. Could be out in a pub with mates. But I choose to 2 nights a week teach class in the gym, and that's where I get so much energy from. It's amazing. I mean, I'm going to be 50 soon, but I've got far more energy now than I used to. Anyway, so on these webinars or workshops, everyone always tells you their story. Used to be this, used to be that. I'm not going to waste half an hour of your time by boring you, but basically 5 years ago, I was an unhealthy dad. I was overweight. My health statistics were really bad. My son used to bounce on my stomach and think it's hilarious. I didn't have enough energy to play football with him. He used to get really annoyed and say, Daddy, why are you so tired all the time? Why don't you play with me? And I was like, just so tired. And it affected me at work. And if I did go to the gym, it wasn't very good. I remember I had to wear Spanx on my stomach to hold it in because I was so embarrassed. One day, I worked really, really hard, and it stuck to me so much. My boss had to pull the Spanx over my head. How embarrassing is that? So, all these things at the same time, I need to sort my health out. And that's where I started to learn about energy, nutrition, and exercise and movement. So there you go. Anyway, so going back to your average score for a day. So yesterday my score was a lot lower than it is today. And you might find that you get to Saturday and your energy levels go down because it's a weekend and you slept in longer. And it might not necessarily be a bad thing, because you need to, your body needs to recover, you need to relax and chill at the weekend, spend time with the family. So you might not have as much energy as you do during the week, but it's still got good quality energy. And that's what we're talking about today, is to not feel sluggish, not get that brain fog. And it's just a case of mastering it, because once you know the secret to it, it's actually quite easy to do. But a lot of people don't know how to do it. So that's why I'm doing my 5 ways to not feel sluggish. Now, I actually looked at some notes today because I was choosing my best 5. So I've basically chosen the biggest 5 that are easy to implement. I could easily do 50, could do probably 60. There's loads of different things, and obviously every person is different. So I'm just going to talk about the biggest ones that are easy to implement tonight or tomorrow. You could do all these tomorrow if you wanted to. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to go through them all one at a time. And if you've got any questions, put it in the chat. I'm so busy waffling, I'm not even checked the chat. Okay, so I've got some questions that have already been sent in. So the first thing we're going to talk about, in the 5 ways, is just, so remember this, everybody is different, okay? So as I said, my day is different to your day. Okay, so I've already talked about somebody in the office. This was a question I've been asked. So why am I so tired? So I've been in the office all day and I've not even moved. And I drove to work. How can I be tired? So have a think about that. And I do this with my clients because they often don't know why they're so tired. Now, in this particular instance, there's lots of different reasons. So it could be that they didn't sleep particularly well the night before. It could be that they're stressed. Could be they've eaten the wrong type of things and they haven't moved around. So we're going to cover all these different things, because if you put them all together, these 5 ways are actually really, really good. And if you combine them all together, you're going to have so much more energy. So anyway, so I've talked to you about my bad day yesterday. So we'll do the first one, which, as I mentioned, was sleep. So I had some questions on sleep. Now, people often say to me, Chris, how can I improve my sleep? Everyone is different, and it depends on all sorts of different things. So I'm going to talk about the different ways to get a good night's sleep. But people don't often understand why we need sleep. We just say, well, we do it every day. Yeah, everyone has sleep, otherwise you die. But do we actually know why we sleep? And it's fascinating when you learn about the science of sleep. So basically, in the sleep, not be too scientific, during the night, our body repairs itself. Yeah, so everything we've done to it in the day, all the muscles we've damaged doing exercises, all the stress and strains we've done, all the bad things we've done to our skin and put into our body, all the stressful things that the brain's had to deal with, all the thoughts we've had, all the incidents, the body basically in those 7 or 8 hours has to repair everything and basically sort you out for the next day. Also making sure you don't die, and it also improves your muscles, your brain, your bones, everything's working at night. But we don't know about it, do we? Because we're asleep. And if you think about it, when you analyse your dreams, sometimes you have really bad dreams, and sometimes you have nice dreams. And why does the body do that? Because the body's just doing so many weird and wonderful things at night. So basically, the more you help your body, the more it'll help you. Yeah. If you've got a car and you put water in the petrol tank or the fuel tank, it's not going to do much good, is it? So it's the same with your body. If you don't put the right things into your body or don't treat your body properly, then it's not going to perform very well. So I know I've been asked to do this, so I will do another talk on sleep because it's such a massive topic. I could literally talk 2 hours on it. I mean, when I have my clients on a one-to-one, we spend at least 1, possibly sometimes 2 weeks just talking about sleep, because it's one of the most important things you can do for your body. So just think about last night when you went to bed. Okay, just think about it. So what did you do before you went to bed? Just have a think about it. Just give you a few seconds to think. Just going to grab some nice water while you're doing that. Okay, did you, now before you go to bed, start to relax? Did you chill? Did you turn your phone off, turn your computers off, turn the telly off? Did you read a book? Did you drink some water? Did you listen to some music? Did you meditate? Did you do gratifications for all the nice things that happened during the day? Or did you do what I used to do a lot, or occasionally I still do? Like you literally go, oh my God, it's 11 o'clock. I need to go to bed. Quickly get everything ready, jump upstairs, clean your teeth, and jump into bed. Hands up who's done that, or hands up if you did that last night. Yeah, we all do it, even though you've got the best intention of not doing it. And my personal trainer sent me a picture, 9:15 last night, of crazy hair. He got his special glasses on that like got blue tints on it, and he was going to bed. And I was like, okay, so we're both getting up at the same time of the day because we both got my session at 7 o'clock. And I went to bed probably an hour and a half, 2 hours after that because I had so much work to do, so many things to do, which is really bad because obviously I'm a health coach. I'm no notion to know, but I just literally had so much I had to do for today. So this morning, who do you think was in the better condition? Luckily, I was okay and had lots of energy. But who probably looked the best or had the best night's sleep? Obviously, he did, because he'd had an extra hour and a half, 2 hours sleep. So literally, I turned my laptop off and turned the light off. Now, occasionally I can get away with that, but that is the worst thing to do because my eyes had all these blue rays going into them. My brain was stimulated. I was like trying to sort emails out because I have a lot of clients in America, and obviously with the time difference, they'll like email me not realizing it's my bedtime. They should know by now, but and sometimes if it's something really important I need to sort out, then I think, I'll just do it now, and you shouldn't do that. But obviously, a lot of people watch telly. I mean, it's now like evening, and all my neighbours are watching telly. I can see them out the window in the dark. So if they're going to watch films till 11 o'clock at night or 10:30 and they go to bed, they're not going to get the best night's sleep because you're stimulating the brain. If you're watching a horror or a scary film or a thriller, then your brain's going to be like, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And then you just suddenly switch off. You've had all these blue lights or blue rays in your eyes stimulating the brain. So the brain's going to be like, whoa, I'm not going to sleep yet. Well, it's going to take a while to drop off. Now, when you get into your bedroom, have you got a telly in the bedroom? How many people got tellies in the bedroom and they watch telly and then fall asleep? Or the telly's still on, and then they've got to eventually wake up in the night and turn it off. Tellies in the bedroom are really, really bad. Okay. I've got loads of tips on sleep, but how many people have a coffee before they go to bed and then can't sleep? And then why would you have a coffee? So caffeine is really bad. Same with alcohol and takeaways late at night. If you have things like that and you're stimulating the brain and waking it up when it wants to go to sleep and repair itself, do you think your brain and your body are going to repair itself at midnight, between midnight and 3 o'clock in the morning, if it's got loads of caffeine or alcohol or spicy, salty foods in its body? It's got enough to do without having to process all that as well. Yeah. So anything you can do to help your body. Okay. So who's got an uncomfortable bed and who's got a comfortable bed and nice pillows? I never thought of this. I used to, in younger years, just buy the cheapest bed ever and then not sleep very well. Whereas when I invested in a nice, comfy, like foam mattress, my sleep really improved because, my body could sleep better because, you're not uncomfortable, you've not got things sticking in your back and all that sort of things. So anyway, during your sleep, your brain goes through cycles. And I won't go into that today because we'll be here for hours and hours. But just a few things like sleep. So making sure you have enough quality sleep, 7 to 8 hours, everyone's different, will really help you the next day. Because as much as I do, if you have a bad night's sleep, you feel rubbish the next day, don't you? Yeah. Okay. Trick number 2. I need to hurry up because this is going on too long, isn't it? So trick number 2, movement. Now, so the chap who goes to work and he doesn't move around all day and he's really tired. Why do you think that is? But if his body's not moving, then his muscles aren't going to move around. He's not going to generate the circulation in his body. His body's just going to sit there all day, and he's going to stand up and go, oh, I feel a bit stiff. Oh, yeah. And you're not moving around. Whereas if your body moves around, it creates energy, doesn't it? So I haven't actually got it here, but I did like a 4-day Tony Robbins session once where it was in the night here, and I actually had a little trampette, which is, I don't know if you have them in America, but it's like a little trampoline. So every hour or so when I'm starting to feel tired, you just jump on a little trampoline for a minute, and it's amazing what you can do. It suddenly wakes you up, and you're creating energy. And sometimes when I'm in the house on my own and I've got like 5 minutes in between clients, which is a bad idea, and try and have more than that. But sometimes one might go overgo, or someone's changed me, and then you think, I've got 5 minutes, you got to rush to the loo and get your brain going in movement. So running up and down the stairs for like 30 seconds really works. So try it. It does work. Or just like jumping around, just like doing something crazy like this, or jumping on the spot, things like that. Hope it's not making you dizzy. Wow. How long did I do that for? 10 seconds. And I just feel I've got more energy already. Going outside. So it's winter. It's coming up to winter here. If I was really, really tired, I'd literally go outside for 20 seconds and get fresh air. And that really works as well, doesn't it? So have a think about that one as well. When you're really tired and you think, oh, I've sat down all day. Yeah, you haven't moved, have you? And that makes you more tired. So, and it's easy to do. Who can't move around? Not many people. There's always something you can do, even if you only got like 1 or 2 minutes between meetings or something. Number 3, which I actually need now, water. Oh, I feel so good. Not quite as cold as I'd like it, but so the body is made up about 70% water. Think about it. That's what the body's made of, and it's all like going around inside you. The brain uses a lot of it. So if you're not giving your body enough water, then the brain can't cope, can it? If you're like dehydrated, that gives you brain fog, and your body's like, when you like dry mouth and you're really thirsty and you start to get irritable, and you start to feel. Often drinking cold water is such an easy one. I could charge someone $1,000 to sort their life out, but half the time, just drinking water is so easy to do. You can do that. I mean, it's not just everything you need. don't take me on that one. But just water is the biggest thing. Obviously, my name, Chris Cave. So the cavemen from thousands and thousands of years ago, they didn't have coffee, did they? They didn't have alcohol. They didn't have Coke. All they had was water. Yeah, and they survived on water, didn't they? And since then we've always been on water. It's only recently that we've started to put different liquids into our body. So I'm just going to change my pin there. Okay, if you could just mute yourself, that'd be great. Thank you. Okay, so just talking about water. So water is so important, and it's cheap and it's easy. Anyone can get water pretty much. And you do find that if you haven't had enough water, then that can often cause you the brain fog and feeling tired. So an easy trick to do is always have water in your bag or in your car, wherever you go. So when I went to these meetings yesterday, there was no drinking water. There was only tea and coffee. So then I was starting to feel like irritable, more tired, simply because there wasn't enough water there, which was, it's a bit crazy in this modern day that you don't have enough water. So, and I came across a chap yesterday, a lovely bloke, but I was saying to him, well, why can't you drink water? You drink like energy drinks and Coke and things like that, which are full of sugar and chemicals and things. And he said, I don't like the taste of water. So I was trying to explain to him how important water is for your body, and your brain needs it. And it's so important for you. But the fact that he didn't like the taste of it, and he actually thought that fish, in the water that we drink, put him off drinking water, which, I mean, I've not heard that one before, and I don't think, I'm 99.9% certain that fish do not wee in our drinking water. Certainly not in the UK. But if you've got that, that thing about water, and you're like, well, I'm not drinking water because of that, your body is absolutely crying out for water. I mean, just think, if you could listen to if your body could talk to you, what would it say? Would it say, oh, can I have another 2 coffees and some Coke, or can I have some water, please? It'd be water, wouldn't it? So have a think about that. Especially like when you're in the gym and you don't have enough water, what happens to you then? You get like that salty like flavour on your lips, and you're sweating and you just feel drained. So there you go, tip number 3, which is so easy, water. Again, we could talk about that one for hours. But tip number 4, okay, food. I mean, this again is so obvious, food, but poisons. So going back to, we just talked about cavemen. So thousands and thousands of years ago, did cavemen have McDonald's or biscuits or donuts or anything like that? No, they didn't. They obviously had to look for their food. They had to hunt down animals. They had to pick fruit and berries and things and nuts. And obviously they had to go on what was available at that time of the year through the different seasons. Whereas now we're so lucky we can get food from anywhere in the world at any time of the year. And for power foods are so important for us. And now we've got absolutely no excuse most of the time to not have some. So, for example, you could have your McDonald's, which you could get from anywhere in the world, and it probably tastes the same, but it's not really good for you, is it? Whereas like good, wholesome, natural foods are really, really good for you. And often you think, well, how did the cavemen cope? But I mean, so I've got a few examples here. So we've got like a satsuma. It certainly hasn't come from this country. An apple, lovely apple, which probably did come from the UK. We've got a banana, definitely not from this country. And a kiwi, again, not from this country. So all these really good, wholesome energy foods that are so good for our body, we can pretty much fly in from anywhere in the world. And it's so important to do that. Obviously, cavemen didn't have that luxury, did they? So what we talk about, just picture a roller coaster. When you go on a roller coaster and it goes sort of up and down and like that. If you think about that is almost like your day. So when it comes to energy, think about it. So you had your breakfast in the morning and you've got energy. So your energy shoots up. Yay. And then a couple of hours later, when you're sitting down in the office and you've got a meeting and your energy goes down. And you start to feel tired, brain fog, irritable. The boss is really annoying you and you're really tired and you're starting to get stressed. So what do you do? Hands up, what do? You grab a coffee, or you grab a donut or biscuit or a cake or something like that. And then what happens? Suddenly for 5 minutes, you feel great again. You go, whoa, this feels good. And then what happens? You sort of get that 5 minutes of energy. So your roller coaster's going back up. Because you've just put all this nasty salt and sugar in your body. What's going to happen? Pretty much 5-10 minutes later, roller coaster's going to shoot down again. And the caffeine in the coffee is eventually going to run out. So then it's like, oh no, you've gone down in a dip. So again, you then get to lunch. What do? You have too many carbs. You then fuel up again, and then you start your energy levels go up again, and then obviously going on and on and on throughout the day, it goes up and down, up and down. So by eating the right types of food and not putting too many nasty things in your body will really help your energy levels, because you're going to create like a constant level, like a plateau, rather than having the roller coaster. Love doing that. It's good, isn't it? And now COVID's nearly over, we can go back to roller coasters again. But do you know what I mean about roller coasters? It's you can always do that during your day. So it talks about things like coffee and caffeine. Now there is a time and a place for caffeine. I mean, when I'm teaching 2 classes in the gym, I will have caffeine in order to get my heart rate going, to get my energy levels going slightly, and stimulate metabolism. So that is a good time to have coffee. But if you're having coffee throughout the day and you don't really need to, then you're sort of seeing it as like a way to gain energy. And there's an advert, I don't know if you have it in America, but we have an advert for Red Bull, which is supposed to give you wings. So because it's on the telly, people think, oh yeah, if I need energy, I'll have a Red Bull, which is full of caffeine and chemicals. So I've seen loads of people do this. They suddenly need an energy boost. They have their Red Bull, and then an hour later, they feel tired again. And I admit it, I used to do it when I was younger. So we all do it, and it's just getting that balance right. So just sometimes listen to your body, and again think, did the cavemen used to have Red Bull? No, they didn't. They used to chase prehistoric animals and not have a coffee to use. Right, so that was number 4. So we talked about, we call it poisons, sort of. A poison is like something that's not natural to your body, that's not good for you, like the chemicals you get in things like there's a lot of crops that have got chemicals in them. There's a lot of processed foods that have got nasty chemicals in that our body, like millions of years ago, was not designed for. So sometimes you think, well, what are we putting into the body, and is it really going to give us that energy? Okay, number 5. You're probably not expecting this one. Like, to create energy, Yeah, let's give you 5 seconds to think what it is. Okay, mindset, the brain. Okay, so I said today that when I got up at 6 o'clock this morning, I literally jumped out of bed. Yeah, well, admittedly, my phone was on the other side of the room, and there was a reason for that. I'm thinking, why do you have your alarm clock or your phone on the other side of the room? Why do you think? Yeah, because you've got to get out of bed to turn it off. Whereas if you've got your alarm next to your bed, what do? Press snooze and go back to sleep for another 5-10 minutes, and then that's another 10 minutes, and then another 10 minutes. Whereas if you physically got to get out of bed, I can't remember who told me this trick, but it's brilliant. Yeah, it's like an amazing idea. But the fact you physically got to get out of bed to turn that alarm off, you've already started to move, and you might as well, while you're up there, I've got to get up now. Yeah, and like you don't want to wake the neighbours up. So the mindset is like, wow, I've got to get up, and like I'm really excited to get up. If you get up at 6 o'clock and you think, wow, I've got something really good to look forward to, or I'm going to the gym in a minute, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, and I've got this energy now, you're far more likely to than if you're like, press snooze and things like that. So this is another interesting one. So I've had this with a lot of my clients. Now, a lot of the time, we lack energy because of mindset and we're bored. Yeah. So if you're bored, you're less likely to have energy than if you're motivated to do something. So if I said to you, right, I don't know, let's think of something really fun. Okay, so let's go to the cinema. We're going to go bowling, but you've got to be up at 6 in the morning. Or you just say, I've got nothing planned for tomorrow. The weather looks rubbish. Which one are you more likely to do? And admittedly, if you've got work and you've got horrible meetings, you're probably less likely to want to get up in the morning than if you've got something exciting to look forward to. So I've worked with a lot of clients on their mindset. So when you wake up in the morning, you try something new like meditation or yoga or something fun like that, and something a bit different. It's actually quite amazing for the brain because you're thinking, well, rather than pressing snooze, I'm actually getting up to something that's going to make my day better. And admittedly, meditation is really hard to start with. I really, really struggled, but there are ways around it. The same with yoga. I used to hate yoga, whereas now, like when I get up, I think, oh yeah, because I know how good that's going to feel, even if it's really dark and cold when I go into my little mini gym. But and other reasons, if you just think, oh, I'm really like grateful for this in the morning, like you wake up and think, wow, I'm going to do this today, I'm going to do that today. That's amazing, rather than, oh, have I really got to do that? Oh, I really don't want to do that. So you're not going to do it, are you? Okay, so I'll give you another example. It's 8 o'clock at night. Yeah, so it's 8 o'clock at night and you've already had your dinner and you start to feel a bit tired. So what do? Do you sit down and watch Netflix? If you do that for like 3 hours, what is going to happen to your energy levels? Right, you've started to sit down, you've just had all that food and you're not moving, you're going to start to get tired and just lack of interest. There might be something on telly. You might have sat down between 8 and 9 to watch one particular exciting program. But by 9 o'clock, what are you going to do then? You're going to like, oh, I'm watching telly now. I'll just flick over. And you probably spend the next 2 hours watching rubbish that you hadn't planned to watch. But if you've got something exciting to look forward to, it could be a new hobby like, I don't know, taking up line dancing or salsa dancing or going to the gym or going to a book club outside, or it could be going for a walk with a friend or something like that to stimulate yourself as something fun. I guarantee you'll have far more energy than if you sat down and watched Netflix. I mean, no offense to Netflix, it saved a lot of people during lockdown. But do we really need to still be doing that now when there's so many things outside to do? And obviously during like lockdown in the UK, a lot of people put on a lot of weight because we weren't going out as much. We weren't going to the gym. We weren't walking to the train or to the office or going up and down the stairs in the office or things like that. So a lot of people got into bad habits and now they've still got bad habits. They're getting takeaways delivered, takeouts, I think it's called in the US. You're not going out as much. You're watching more telly. You're moving around as much. And because that's been in like stored in our brain for the last year and a half, we're going to have probably less energy than we did before COVID. So just by finding something every day to look forward to or something different to stimulate you, you'll have more energy, won't you? I mean, how many of you have just been on Amazon and just ordered a trampette to put in your lounge? Probably not that many, but something a bit different like that. it's actually really good fun, especially if you find some really good music. Although, watch your head, I nearly went through my ceiling one time, but just finding something a bit different to do, make it more fun. Your body's going to be better to do it. So emotions, okay. So people think emotions, how can that drain your energy? If you think about it, it does. Now it's different for everybody. Now I was teaching 2 classes with a gap of an hour the other day, and I needed to do some work. So the Wi-Fi in the gym wasn't working. So there's a pub below the gym. Went downstairs to use their Wi-Fi. Had a drink of coffee or tea or something, and then I was watching some of the other people in there, and it was like fascinating just watching what other people do. All the things they were eating and drinking, and I thought, I've seen in them before. Every time I've had to do that, to use Wi-Fi, it's the same people in there all the time. And basically, they just go there and they walk around really slow because they're putting the wrong things into their bodies. And sometimes you just need to be aware of what you're putting into your body and how it creates energy, and then how it's going to be if you keep on doing that. Whereas if you think to yourself, like in my mindset, wow, if I could create some more energy, just think how much better my life would be if I had 2 hours of extra energy a day, or I could increase my energy by 10%. So I do this with my clients. I say to them, right, just imagine how much better your life would be if you had 5% more energy. What could you do with that a day? And then you build it up to what could you do if you had 10% more energy? Or what could you do if you had an extra hour in the day, extra 2 hours in a day? I think one chap said he had an extra 2 hours a day and of energy and be able to do things. How amazing would that be? So I'll give you an example of this. So, as I said, 5 years ago, I couldn't play football with my son. So I was so tired, didn't have the energy, he got frustrated. So now when I pick him up from school, sometimes when the weather's nice, we'll play football in the field for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And all the other kids go, oh yeah, can we join in? They don't know my name, they just call me Thomas's dad. But now they've got a new nickname for me. They call me Sonic. And I was like, Sonic, which is a cartoon name, because they think it's hilarious or worrying to them, the fact that someone who's nearly 50 can outrun them and have far more energy and keep going longer than they can. And these kids are 9 or 10. So just imagine how much better it would be feel if you had more energy than your kids. Yeah, this is a really good one. Although to be fair, I actually really annoy my son sometimes because I have more energy than him, and he doesn't always like it because he's quite competitive like me. And he's like, well, it's not fair because you're older. It's like, well, no, I'm 40 years older than you, so you should have more energy than me. But it wasn't always the way. So if you could have all that extra energy, how much better would your life be? Say if you had a whole weekend with the kids, you could do so much more with them, and then they'd be like, wow, my dad could do all this stuff for me, or my mum can do all this stuff for me, and your relationship would be better, and they'd respect you more, wouldn't they? Then can you imagine? I mean, my son used to take the mickey out of me. He used to jump on my belly. He used to say I had man boobs or moobs, and he used to really think it was funny to bounce on my stomach, whereas he won't do that now. And I think he respects me more because I've got that extra energy now. And then for me, I want to try and bring him up so that he's healthy in the future and he's got energy, and then he'll have his kids. And then if I'd have kept my health as it was 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't have lived long enough to see his kids, and I wouldn't have had the energy to play with the grandkids. Whereas now, hopefully, touch wood, I will. So sometimes your mindset has got to think, well, why am I doing this? Why do I need to put these new habits in order to be more healthy and to have that energy? I've heard this story loads of times before about millionaires or billionaires on their deathbed who've got all this money and they're like, oh, I'd pay anything in the world to live another year, 5 years, 10 years. It's all very well having all the money in the world, but you can't take it with you, can you? And you just think if you could have another 5 years with your family, how amazing would that be? You couldn't put a price on it. If you could, how much could you sell it to those billionaires for? A lot of money. Don't know what's above billionaires. Is it trillionaires? I don't know, but it'd be priceless, wouldn't it? To have an extra few years with your family. Be amazing. So sometimes it's about mindset, and it's like, why do I want to do this? Why do I want to have more energy, be more healthy, lead a healthier lifestyle? Um, and we call it here, I don't know if it's the same in America, but my American clients love it now. I call it the MOFA, MOFA, which is your motivating factors. And it's like the why under the why as to why you want to change your life. And it could be, because you want to see grandkids. It could be you want to play with your kids, you want to have more energy, you want a better relationship with your wife or your partner. Imagine if your partner fancied you to bits. How amazing would that be? It could be for your career. If you own your own company and you had all that extra energy, you could think of the sales you could get. And everyone's got different reasons. Some people, it's like, I've got a wedding, I really want to fit into my wedding dress, or I want to look good at someone else's wedding or a reunion, or it could be, I really fancy a girl at work or a man at work, and I really want to impress them. But everyone's got different reasons for why they want to do it. And once you know that motivating factor, and if you put things in your life to remind you all the time, so I always get my clients to do 5 of these. So it could be Post-it note on their bathroom mirror. It could be a picture on their phone or a message on their phone. So every time they look at it, it tells them something like, you're amazing, you're a health guru, you're amazing, or I love you, or sometimes people find a picture of them when they were younger and clothes they used to fit in, and that's what they want to fit in. So put pictures of that all around the house. Could be a piece of music that every time you hear it motivates you to do it. One of the ones I use is Life by Hadaway. Never used to like it in the 1990s, but now every time I hear it, I'm like, yeah, Chris, get up and go. Like, Pig Stace, we're going to do this. So all these things that you can do that are, people probably laugh. I mean, people watching this live or on replay probably thinking, oh, that crazy English bloke's lost the plot. But it does work. If you've got these things constantly reminding you, you know why you want to do it, then you're far more likely to do it, aren't they? So an interesting statistic is 97% of diets don't work. So people that start them fail and probably actually gain more. It's the 3% that do, it's because it's in the mindset and they know why they want to do it and they're determined to do it. So if you're motivated to do it, you're far more likely to do it. Okay. Anyway, so I'm nearly running out of time. So I'm just going to go through 10 sort of like highlights or action things to do. So we've talked about not feeling sluggish, but it's more about the gaining the energy and being more healthy in order to live longer, have more energy to keep up with your kids, or if for work, things like that. So the first thing is you've already taken the first footsteps towards it. The fact that you're watching this now, or if you're in Australia, you'll be watching this tomorrow, that you've actually taken the time out of your day or evening to watch this. That's the start, isn't it? And you know that, oh yeah, I'm going to listen to some crazy English bloke talking about sluggish energy. Wow, that's good, isn't it? People have really taken that out one. Action. If you've written down all the things I've said today, or the 5 top ones, if you put them into action tomorrow, I bet you have far more energy than you had today. Yeah. And then if you action it, you're far more likely to succeed, aren't you? Whereas if you just go, oh, yeah, and you haven't written it down or you can't remember it, and tomorrow you're like, oh yeah, I remember some bloke called Chris told me to drink more water, and he was talking about a roller coaster. Can't remember what it was about, and he's talking about cavemen. Yeah, you might remember 3 things, but then if you don't action them, it's not going to happen, is it? Next one, MOFA, or why under the why. Why do you want to have more energy? Yeah, you might not want to have more energy. There's people outside now watching telly, they probably might not want to have more energy. Whereas you do because you're watching this, and I do because I'm doing this, and I'm standing up and I've been standing around for like an hour, moving around because I've got all this energy, and I want to, I've still got things to do tonight before I go to bed. Okay, and I want to see my son have kids, and hopefully he'll let me babysit them, and I can play football with them when I'm like 70, 80. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Habits. A lot of these things to do with habits are things that you can put into your daily routine every day, just by like thinking, I've got a lot on today. Always make sure, basics, I've got a bottle of water in my bag, I've got banana, I've got satsuma, kiwi, got some nuts. I eat a bag of nuts like that. So when you have a small portion, that'll give you so much more energy than McDonald's. Okay, mindset. Think about why you want to do it and get your brain on board. Accountability. If you tell someone that you're going to do this, like tell me, tell your partner, tell your kids. So, I mean, how would your kids feel like, hey, would you like daddy or mummy to have more energy so I can have more time to play with you and beat you at football? They'd be like, yeah, that'd be amazing. So accountability, if you tell someone you're going to do it, you're more likely to do it and succeed, aren't you? Next one, right, this is a good one. So think about your energy levels for today. So mine was a 9 for today. Yesterday was probably 6 or 7. Monitor it tomorrow when you've put in some of these new things I've told you about. See what your average score is. And I'd love you to let me know, because I guarantee it'll be higher, but as long as you put all these things in. So please let me know. You've got my email address. Please let me know. Next one, analyze your day as well. So this is a really good one to analyze your day. So I actually give my clients like a chart to do it. So you say, well, what part of the day was I really tired and what part of the day did I have loads of energy? And it's really interesting. And they go, wow, that's interesting. It's the same every day. So 10 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the afternoon are my worst times for energy, whereas my best times are 8 in the morning, like 12 noon and 6 at night. It could be different for everyone else. And if you look at that and think, well, how do I avoid those pitfalls at those times? And what is it that's causing the problem? Okay, next one. Imagine your new life if you had extra energy. So 5 years' time, 10 years' time, if you had more energy than you did now, even though we've aged 5, 10 years, how good would that be? Yeah, so 10 years' time, I might have probably gone more grey. I hope I'm still teaching a few classes in the gym for fun and for a hobby. I'd hope that, I haven't put on extra weight. I hope I've got enough energy to keep up with my son, although he'll be a horrible teenager by then. But do you know what I mean? Like, my new life could be amazing if I monitor my energy and look after myself. And finally, speak to me, Mr. C, because if just by telling someone what you're doing or asking for help, you're far more likely to do it. So hit reply on the emails I send out to you every week, or follow me on social media and just see what I'm doing to do with energy, and then just let me know as well. And because I love helping people, all my clients, some of my clients have completely changed their life. They lose like 4 stone, 5 stone, another one 33 pounds. I mean, trying to convert that in the different time zones as to everyone's different ones of weights, that's a lot for anyone. And just by thinking, it would feel great to lose this weight. So ask people's help. Doesn't even have to be me. Ask someone else for help. There's so many people around the world that will help you. And just taking that first step towards it, and you will just feel amazing. And it's a new challenge, isn't it? Because we all love challenges. And why wait till the 1st of January when we do our New Year's resolutions? Yeah, everyone goes, oh yeah, 1st of January, I'm not going to drink this month. I'm not going to eat bread. I'm not going to have coffee. I'm going to sleep longer. I'm not going to do this, do that. And then 5 days, 10 days into it, I'll give you an example. Last year I did a Facebook group for Dry January, but because in the UK we're in lockdown, not many people succeeded, because they all said it's too depressing a time to give up alcohol. But the ones who did lost so much weight, they had so much energy, and they felt amazing. So for those people, the 10 out of the 50 that did it, they felt amazing. And then everyone else was really envious. So there you go. It can be done. It's just mindset, isn't it? Anyway, so I hope you've enjoyed this show. And if you've got any comments, feedback to me. And just always think, how would it feel for my life to be better? So thank you for attending. And I'll be sending a recording out to those who requested it down under or in different time zones. So thank you for watching this, and I hope you enjoyed it. Any questions, as always, let me know, and I'll let you know for the next workshops. But this has been really good fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. So I'll see you soon, and take care.